Hello, this is Steve Thoele, Principal Broker with Premier Property Group, and bringing you another weekly update on the Tigard Oregon real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity, ending this past Sunday, September 4th. So welcome to the unofficial start of fall here. So I hope you had a great Labor Day weekend as well. So as I always do, I'm going to share my screen with you now and go through the data with you. So starting off with looking at active listings, I showed last week in Tigard we had 16 properties come on the market, which you can kind of see compared to the other weeks is certainly a low for the last 8 weeks here. And it's kind of been slowly kind of declining, since the beginning of this kind of period here. And then as of the end of the week, we ended up with 144 homes active on the market. And you can kind of see that that's a dip from kind of where it had been holding steady at, between 160, 165 homes on a weekly basis. So definitely a little bit of a drop in listings this last week. The median price and the days on market for those active listings, you can kind of see that that's been on the rise for both measures. We had a low of 630 here about 7 weeks ago and hit a slight high this last week at 667,000 for the median list price, and then days on market has been kind of ratcheting up as well. Had a low of 18, and this last week came in at 32, up basically a week from the last reading at 25 here. So homes are definitely kind of staying on the market longer as the market is kind of continuing to cool a bit. So moving along to pending sales. I showed last week in Tigard we had 30 homes go into pending status. You can kind of see that that's towards the high end of the range here on a weekly basis. It's been a pretty tight range, between 25 and 33 homes a week have been going pending. And then end of the week with 150 homes in pending status. And again, you can kind of see that's been holding up fairly steady as well, between 161 and 147 homes on a weekly basis being in pending status. And then the price and days on market, price has been kind of dropping a little bit. Again, a fairly tight range here, high of 619, low of just under 600. And, last basically month, 5 weeks here, it's been right around 600,000, has not moved a whole lot. Days on the market have been increasing for those pendings. You can kind of see we had a low of 10 to start off the period, and it's kind of been increasing as we've been moving along here. This last week hit 21 days of average market time for the homes that have gone pending. And then lastly here, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put the info together here, I show we had 25 homes go from pending to sold this last week. And you can kind of see that how that compares over the prior 8 weeks here. Had a low of 22, a high of 41. And then when I look back over the prior 4 weeks of activity here, this last week, I show we had 110 homes that have closed over the prior 4 weeks, and that's up a bit from the prior 3 weeks here. So it's been holding pretty steady. And then the median price and days on market for those solds, that has been dropping here over the past month, 5 weeks now. So we kind of see we were close to 650 here 6-7 weeks back, and then it's been kind of moving down from there. This last week kind of came in at 606,000. Down about 7,000 from the week prior. Days on market have been going up. Started off at 5, got up to 10. Last couple of weeks here has been at 9. And then lastly, we'll look at the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. So it's been holding pretty steady for the most part in Tigard. You can kind of see we started off the period here at 5 weeks of inventory. Got up to just a little over 6 weeks, and this last week kind of bumped back down to just over 5 weeks, with the amount of listings kind of coming down and sales holding steady. And the sale price is the percent of the original list price. You can kind of see that that's been holding pretty steady here. Started off at 103, had kind of come down and has been sitting at, really close to full asking price over the past 5 or 6 weeks now, as you can see. So, all in all, I would say, Tigard remains, a very solid seller's market, with 5 weeks of inventory and homes selling very close to the asking price. So, definitely not as crazed as it was earlier this year, but certainly a very solid seller's market environment remains in Tigard. at this point. So I hope this weekly update has been helpful and informative. If so, always appreciate any likes, comments, shares that you could throw my way. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Click the subscribe button, and you can follow along on what's happening in your local market on a weekly basis. So, as always, if I can be of any help or answer any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. My number is 503-680-2065. And as always, I really appreciate you watching and hope you have a fantastic day and week. Thanks.